thing that I've done as a voice artist. Like I've never done voice work before. I'd never done improv in this way before.
If you had to sort of probably describe Project Hail Mary in like Gen Z keywords, what would you use? Just like two, three Gen Z keywords.
I'm so bad with Gen Z keywords. I feel like I'm an old soul and this is going to stress me out. And so the opportunity to work with him was the easiest yes ever. I want to work with like directors and actors who I have admired for a long time. And I also want to continue to experiment with different types of cinema and TV, and even potentially go back to theatre as well at various points in my career. So there's so much I want to do. It's probably impossible to do it all in one lifetime, but we'll see how much we can fit in.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing. What after Project Hail Mary is something that you can talk about?
So next month I have a show coming out called Star City on Apple TV, and funnily enough, it's also space themed.
Oh,
So
wow.
this year's there's a theme. Like it's okay. I'm just doing a lot of space work this year.
Wow. Welcome to Filmibeat. This is Hesha Chima, and I'm joined today by none other than Priya Kansara. Hi, thank you so much. So happy to be doing this.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited as well.
How has your day been today? Are you picked for the interviews lined ahead of you to talk about what's next?
Yeah, it's always so exciting. I feel like you get to relive the excitement of doing the projects when you get to talk about them in these situations as well. It's great.
I feel like in your profession, I guess you're kind of amidst two ends, right? Like the first spectrum is when you actually get to know that you're a part of a project, but you have to keep quiet. You really can't talk about it. The middle process is when you're actually, in it, while you're working for it, whether as a voice artist or as a camera artist also. And then the last part is when you can actually talk about it. So it's just so much emotion, right? Like, how do you sort of cope with all of it?
I don't think you ever learn how to cope with that. You just like go along with it, to be honest, because it
Yeah.
is a lot. Like when you first get the part, you get the call and you're there on set and you're like, I want to screen this to the world because it's happening in real time and people, I want everyone to know about it. But also, to be honest, you're so focused on the actual job and the day-to-day work that you almost kind of shut yourself off in this little bubble. And then when it comes out, it's really funny for us as well because it's been so long since we were on set doing this. And so it's kind of like a trip down memory lane, really, when you're re-going over it all. And I always feel like you make three films, which is the film that's like the script, the film that you film and are shooting, and then the film that comes out and everybody sees, right? And I'm re-experiencing this film in its newest form, basically, is what it feels like.
Thing. To be a part of especially this particular film, right, for you, where you are being a voice artist, like how has that experience been for you?
Crazy. I've like this is the first thing that I've done as a voice artist. Like I've never done voice work before. I'd never done improv in this way before. And so I was quite terrified because I was like, this is a lot and I don't know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Um, but it was really fun. And I think, I mean, firstly, I basically felt like I faked it till I made it, right? Like I was just going along with
Most
the
of us,
flow.
all charged,
Yeah.
most of us. Yeah.
But it was really cool to be working alongside this team, and I learned so much from them, and they were so great with me the whole time. It was a really fun job.
Amazing. If you had to sort of probably describe Project Hail Mary in like Gen Z keywords, what would you use? Just like two, three Gen Z keywords.
Oh my gosh. I'm so bad with Gen Z keywords. I feel like I'm an old soul, and this is going to stress me out. I don't know. Is peak a good word?
Yeah. Peak's a good
Peak's
word.
a good word.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
peak's a good
Peak.
word.
It's peak. It's oh my God. I just want to say like thumbs up because that's
Okay.
a thing in the film and
I think we can go with peak and thumbs up. I'm okay with
yeah,
those.
peak and thumbs up and then multiple millions of thumbs up for this film.
Okay, amazing. I think not just mine, but you'd probably agree with me that everybody's favorite Ryan Gosling is also a part of the film. And, I'm sure we all have been huge fans of him when we admire some quality of his or the other, whether as fans or whether me as purely as a journalist. If I were to ask you, what qualities about him do you admire as an artist? And I'm sure through the years you must have gone through his work too.
Yes, oh my God, I've watched so much of his work and I was a big fan of his prior to working on this. And so the opportunity to work with him was the easiest yes ever. I think he's a fantastic actor and he's made incredible choices in his career as well. And something that I've hugely valued is his versatility within the roles that he's played. But something that I was able to see whilst working with him on set was seeing he's so incredible at keeping the story within him at all times. Like he understands the film in its entirety consistently and has that picture in his head like consistently. So whenever we would just discuss a scene before doing it, he'd be like, "Oh, but Rylan didn't feel like this way like 2 scenes ago. Remember we shot that thing and he had felt a certain way about like sitting in this place or doing that thing or that person and how he felt towards them and continuing those through lines and never dropping who his character was at any given point and then also being able to play like in the moment and just improv and um just there's never a dead moment. There's never a moment where he's thinking through it. It's so intrinsically in him. And that was really powerful to see. I was like, I don't even know how you store that much information in you. That was amazing.
Amazing. If I were to ask you particularly, like I feel sci-fi, for me as a genre is all about like exploration and like, discovering and uncovering and so much going on and like it's a journey on its own. For you, Priya, personally, like through this particular project, is there something that you sort of unraveled and discovered about yourself that you never knew as an actor?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a really interesting question. I've not thought about that before. Um, I would say I think I didn't realize I could do improv in this way, that I'm actually able to respond and listen much better than I anticipated that I would be able to.
Wow.
Because so much about improv, and in particular with this voice work, is that the key is I am there to support Ryan, and my job is to listen to him. And that sounds easy, but it's actually something that not a lot of us do a lot of the time.
Agree. I don't think most of us are great listeners. I guess we're great preachers.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
happens. Yeah.
And so and not and truly devoting yourself to the other person in the scene consistently in this way was really really an important lesson for me and I think showcased to me that I do have the potential to do it in that capacity and that was really cool.
Wow. Lovely. What's like your plan for the future ahead of you? Like, do you sort of have like a wish list, a bucket list, or a roadmap that you'd love to put it out there and manifest?
I do a lot of manifesting, but also I guess in some ways I've also learned to like not define it because my career has taken turns that I just never really expected. And so some of me is scared to overly define it because what if I'm wishing away something that's like exciting that I didn't know even existed?
Yeah.
And so I mean, I want to do like I want to play a villain. I want to do like more genre work. I want
Yeah.
to work with like directors and actors who I have admired for a long time. And I also want to continue to experiment with different types of cinema and TV, and even potentially go back to theatre as well at various points in my career. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just there's so much I want to do. It's probably impossible to do it all in one lifetime, but we'll see. See how
Yeah,
much we
we
can
see.
fit
Yeah, for
in.
sure. Amazing. What after Project Hail Mary is something that you can talk about?
So next month I have a show coming out called Star City on Apple TV. And funnily enough, it's also space themed.
Oh,
So
wow.
this year's there's a theme. Like it's okay. I'm just doing a lot of space work this year.
Wow. But I guess you're also manifesting, so it's just sort of working out, space work.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, amazing. So congratulations on that. So
Thank
what
you.
else? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying congratulations on that, and you were saying, so I just wanted you to continue, finish.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. Thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting. It's an alternate history sci-fi, so it's based in the Soviet Union in the 60s. So what would have happened if the Soviet Union had landed on the moon first? And it's a really fun in like a serious way, but drama and a really interesting watch. And I'm really excited for people to see it. Tonally, very, very different
Yeah.
to Hail Mary. A lot darker and a lot more serious. Um, Reflective of the place in which it's set and the time in which it's set. But I'm very excited for people to see me on screen again as well.
Yeah, of course, I know. I feel, isn't there a different high for an actor? I feel there's two parts to it. Like one is when you get to sort of oscillate between doing multiple things, but somewhere down the line, I feel you'll always have that one favorite, which could be either or. Like, is that your soft corner too? Like, do you love to put yourself out there on camera as much? Are you very comfortable?
Oh, yeah, I think I've become more and more comfortable with it. Um, what's really interesting as well is learning the art of understanding how the camera works and how your performance fits within this medium. So, I've done theatre in my life, I've done TV, film, all sorts of different things, and understanding who I am as an actor and what I feel in that moment with my scene partner in that situation, what my character is going through and what the story is in relation to how is this being viewed by an audience and how do I ensure that this performance and that moment is going to convey through this medium is a
Yeah.
really interesting thing to have to balance in this career and in this job. And so I've been learning a lot about that, and that's been really cool to see that evolution for myself as well. And like, yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what more happens.
Wow. You know what? At this point, I'm intrigued to know because this is our first conversation, and what I'm getting from and what I'm gauging from is that you really enjoy the profession that you do, and that's a commonality. Because I feel like if you really love what you do, it's a blessing, indeed.
Yeah.
But if I were to just ask you, like, probably have there ever been moments where you've sort of felt a little demotivated or dejected, and then if that ever happened, like, what was your sort of pep talk to yourself?
Oh my gosh. 100%. I think anybody who hasn't felt that in their lives is lying.
Yeah.
I feel
Or, or, or let's just say it's a sci-fi superhero or
yeah, exactly.
or a
It's
robot.
like in a different dimension. I
Yeah.
think we're all human. We all have bad days. That's
Yeah.
just part of it. And to me, the hardest thing about this job is not doing the job. It's when I'm not on set. It's when I'm not a part of, and there's a lot of waiting time in this industry. It's incredibly unstable. It's incredibly unforgiving sometimes. And it's not predictable. Like, sometimes you'll go months without doing work, without being seen or having an audition. Sometimes years. And and when those are the times that you're going through, I find that incredibly tough. I find doing the actual, like, working on a set, doing my analysis, working on a character, doing all of that stuff is relatively easy in comparison. Um, so when I'm feeling low or like when I'm feeling unmotivated or disheartened by it, feeling worried that like my career's over, I'm never going to be hired again, or whatever it might be, I think I remember why I do this.
Yeah.
What is it that I love about what I do? And what I love about it is it's not the contract that I sign or the money that comes through or walking a red carpet. It's just learning about somebody and telling story and feeling emotion in those ways. And that can be done if I go to an acting class or if I practice with some friends or if I go and watch something that I'm inspired by. And so sometimes leaning on those things and allowing yourself to be re-inspired and allowing yourself like I gave up a life in order to pursue this.
Yeah,
I studied something else, I worked in a different field, and then I gave it up. And I always remind myself, like, you didn't sacrifice this all to give up on something you love this much
right.
and something that is such an has such an important why to you. So I think that's kind of what I lean on, really. But sometimes you just got to admit that it's a bad day and eat some ice cream and
Yeah,
get some junk
totally.
food. It's okay. It happens.
Absolutely. Okay. I guess it's a bit of both. I feel you
Yeah,
let
yeah,
up,
exactly.
and at the same time, you also sort of like, pep yourself up with some chatter, and then you know your goal, and then some guilty pleasure always goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly. That has to go hand in hand.
I know it's amazing. But Priya, thank you so much. This was my time with you. It was really nice chatting with you, and I hope we get to interact soon again.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Hesha. It was lovely to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.